how often have you found yourself in this situation?
I quit.
Is your team always terrible?
Bro, you guys are
Sweet dreams.
Listen to me.
Do you constantly have to drag the lifeless corpses of your teammates over the finish line?
He's like, well, I didn't feed anyone.
You didn't do anything either, bro.
Well, it's time we got to the bottom of this. Why does your team always suck? Is it actually their fault? Are you to blame? Or is there someone else entirely making you lose over and over? Well, what if I told you that the answer to that question is actually all of the above? Okay, so before we start sounding off about what a bunch of ranked shitters you are, I want to let y'all know that we have merch. Head over to shop.thescore.com and check out our esports collection. We have tons of cool original designs in awesome colorways. I wear them all the time. They're great. Okay, so it's no secret that teamwork is key to basically every major esport. There's an old saying in team sport: you win as a team and you lose as a team.
There's no I in team. And Kobe said, I know, but there's an in me in that motherfucker.
And while nobody gets upset about sharing the glory when they win, losing definitely hits different.
I feel like it's first chance to be with team and qualify for $1 million major. And when we start losing, because maybe of me, because I didn't hit my shots, I feel so sad.
Hell, you don't have to be the best player on the planet to know the pain of questioning what went wrong in a match. Or the rage that comes with realizing that it was probably your teammate's fault.
Go right, right and left. There's only two. Listen. How old are you, Sova? How old are you? There's right, there's left. You learned that shit in kindergarten.
Except, how often is it that the people you're playing with are actually the problem? Well, to answer that question, we first have to take a look at how games determine who gets paired up with whom. Yes, kids, that's right. The time has come to talk about rank.
Oh, yeah. Where is it, man? I just hear it. It's so far. No. Alright, I'm over it.
Now, what each game calls each level really makes no difference. You Master, Guardian, Crusader, you. The basic idea behind these ratings is pretty much the same across the board. Games will split up players according to their skill level and ensure, or do their best to ensure, that they play with people in a similar skill bracket. Now, every game has its own way of determining what your rank should be. It could be your in-game stats, number of wins versus losses, how many games you've played, or likely some silly imperfect combination of all of those things and more. Generally speaking, the highest percentage of players are grouped somewhere towards the bottom of the pile, with each subsequent tier shrinking the pool of your skill peers to fewer and fewer people. After all, there are only so many god tier gamers. Players of the same rank get put into teams that play against other teams of similarly ranked players, and the rationale for having these systems is fairly obvious. You don't want someone who just picked up a game to go up against somebody who's been playing it for years. It's boring for the veteran and unfair to the newbie. So naturally, if you are in the lower ranks, then chances are your teammates are as well. So in that sense, it could be their fault that you're losing since they are still learning the game. Hopefully, as you get better, you get teamed with people who are also better, and then you can stop blaming them for the team's failures. And then, of course, once you reach a moderately high elo, you can start accusing your teammates of being boosted, since surely their piss-poor mechanics cannot have earned them a spot in their current rank. But of course, not every single teammate you have can afford to be a boosted animal. Unfortunately, if it were that simple, we wouldn't be here in the first place. And I did say at the beginning that we were going to have to explore several possibilities, one of which being that it might be you who's tanking your games.
The more psychologically significant something is to you, the more it forms a part of your identity. So if someone, if you're consistently losing, or if you're not at a rank that you believe you should be at, or that you imagine that you should be at, then you're going to reject possible evidence or possible arguments that actually it's, you're not as good as you think you are.
Essentially, if esports is like your whole personality, taking responsibility for your mistakes can destroy your sense of self. So in order to protect us, our minds shift the blame for losing games to other people. How many times have you found yourself saying, I got mine in CSGO, or blaming the jungler in League of Legends after dying 3 times in 3 minutes? Which, if you think about it, sort of goes against the whole ethos of team-based gameplay. Sure, if you played well, that's great, but an L is an L, no matter how outstanding your performance may have been. Still, on a surface level, if your individual stats are good in a match that your team just lost, it is very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that it is your teammates that suck.
The reason why people are like, I'm, what rank are you? I'm silver, but not really. I'm actually probably platinum or diamond. Honestly, it just comes down to ego.
A good example of this in action is League of Legends' Dardoch. Back in his prime, the NA jungler was notorious for being a teammate from hell.
Dardoch isn't on my team. I don't care if he's good, he's annoying to play with. You get triple kill and he just types question marks, and then says FFFFF.
Instead of trying to win or instead of trying to recover, like there's no talking about what we should do afterwards. There's no talking about how we're going to win mid game. There's no talking about how we're going to team fight. Like, you're just jungling.
Even though Dardoch was lauded as one of the best junglers ever to come out of North America, his lone wolf, uncooperative attitude more or less cost him his career. Perhaps if Dardoch had merely internalized the old adage, there's no I in team, we could have still been enjoying plays like these.
Gonna be taken low. However, the Gargoyle Stone Plate will keep him healthy enough. Bullet time goes out, but Biofrost walks out of the way. Stun is gonna be killed by Bjergsen. Biofrost continues to hop out, and Dardoch grabs a lot of damage, a lot of CC, and that's all they needed. A double kill for the jungler, a triple kill, and an ace for TSM.
And if you think the mind is a one-trick pony when it comes to self-preservation, boy, do I have news for you. Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
There's kind of 2 sides to it, but the side most relevant here is a tendency for people who have lower skill or knowledge in a domain to overestimate their own ability, right? Because they don't know what they don't know.
And bundled right into overestimating yourself is the inclination to either ignore advice from people who might actually be able to help your whole team clinch the round, or even worse, straight up shit on them.
Mugawara, can you throw your grenade on this wall right here? Just throw your EMP grenade.
Okay, maybe not. If someone starts arguing about someone giving them advice, I just think to myself, I wonder how old these guys are. Like if they're under like 18, it's whatever, like when I was a kid, I was pretty stubborn. So it's something they learn over time. And I think the younger players, it's 50-50 with, and not even. It's like 20% of them actually listen to advice. 80%, they just kind of do their thing because they think they're the best at it, which is fine, it's confidence.
But let's pretend for a second that you're someone who knows all about the games your mind plays, that you'd never let unconscious biases affect your judgment, and you rely strictly on facts when it comes to blaming your team for being complete and utter failures.
Oh my.
Dude, where's my... Bro, what? Like, come on, where's my team?
Let me tell you right now that sometimes what you perceive as facts are actually kind of bullshit. But I'm gonna let Colten take this one, because if I have to talk about League of Legends' fucking ranked ladder, I am gonna lose it.
And now, the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
As a man of science, I love to look at numbers and quantify things. And when my ranked teammates complain about my KDA, they also seem to be pretty obsessed with the numbers. Thankfully, every competitive game under the sun is happy to give me plenty of stats at the end of a game to show me exactly what my teammates were up to. But without proper context, these numbers can also become an unstoppable catalyst, fueling your negative views about your teammates. In FPS titles, for example, a player's KDA can often be at least a fairly reliable indicator of their skill. If you're getting tons of kills and not dying a whole lot, odds are you're making some decent decisions and know what you're doing, especially if this ratio is averaged over a bunch of games. But there's always more to these competitive games than just kills and deaths. If your bot laner in a league game is 3-0, but they just chill in lane while the rest of you die and lose the game, are they really any good at League of Legends? And to further prove my point, this guy exists.
Oh, tactical! You don't know who the boss is, buddy? Now he's gonna hit the tower, watch. Oh no, he's gonna go for more. Oh, the Prowler's core tech! No way, this is gonna triple. No! No! Oh my...
Even though the Baus literally got banned for feeding, he also held the rank of Challenger at one point, which is the highest rank in League of Legends for those blessed enough not to know. But of course, most of us aren't the Baus. Our KDA ebbs and flows, and good games and bad games tend to balance themselves out, which is exactly what Riot, or any other ranked dev for that matter, wants. Winning feels good, and losing sucks, if the ranked experience is balanced in such a way that you get just enough warm fuzzies from seeing that shiny rank go up, then you're more likely to keep playing. But all of these stats, this illusion of total information, can start to play into those psychological traps that Dimitri mentioned earlier. From a distance, you're able to lump together games where you did well, forget all about the bad games, and just focus on the times where your stats looked good and your teammates didn't. And we're all susceptible to this. None of us wants to think we're bad at the video games we play, but that mindset can be the very thing that's keeping you from getting any better. Whether you want to rank up in CS or finally win a game of online chess, getting better means you need to look objectively at your gameplay, the good and the bad. This is where a coach, or even just a similarly skilled friend, can be invaluable. They can help shift your focus away from stats and shiny ranks towards looking at your game objectively as a whole.
And that was the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
So there you go. Competitive ranking systems are basically designed to prey on your deepest insecurities. Riot and every other developer who designs a ranked ladder basically wants you to think that your teammates are the problem.
People love assigning labels to themselves, so if they can neatly say, I'm Diamond, I'm, Grandmaster, I'm Global Elite, that kind of thing, then that is a really, really nice quantifiable way of saying I'm good at the game. Whereas conversely, if you're, bronze or silver or something like that, that's a quantifiable way of saying you're not the best, right? Like you're in the bottom 30% or in the bottom 50%. So yeah, by quantifying that, you're very much so kind of relating that back to someone's identity, making that a part of their identity. So especially if someone perceives themselves as skilled at a game, and the rank that they received is at odds with their self-perception, that's going to cause some tension there.
Because high-elo sucks. I don't care. It's terrible. People only play these disgusting meta champs, or the most broken low-elo, you guys play whatever you want. That's how it should be.
That tension, by the way, is what keeps you playing. You want to see the fancy ranked badge get fancier, or see your rank numbers go up, and you'll immediately queue up for another game just to make it happen. That's how these companies get you. But don't worry, there may be hope for you yet.
Because you're more likely to have this tension at lower levels, right? Like people at the higher levels aren't bronze. They're going to be a rank that's a little bit more flattering and confirms their own self-assessment of having high skill.
So what have we learned today? Well, I think it's that all of us are at least a little susceptible to wishful thinking. Nobody wants to feel like a loser. And if blaming your teammates for losing games that matter to you can spare you from experiencing that icky feeling, you'll do it without even realizing why you're doing it. This is literally how we as humans are wired. We've also learned that at the end of the day, game developers are businesses. And if they can capitalize on your desire to be good at something you love to make some money, they probably will. Even if that means creating and sustaining the toxic cesspool that is the League of Legends ranked experience.
Now, apparently, everybody that starts a new account has played this game and is a god at this game because their attitude is absolutely disgusting.
You put me with this stupid ass and this cancer ass lane, and this dipshit does this. Now, Caitlyn Zerath has an ocean dragon. Go in, you stupid terrible.
These games are designed to make you obsessed with rank so that you keep playing. And being obsessed with how much your teammates suck isn't a bug of this system, it's a feature. And look, sometimes, yes, your teammates are actually the problem.
It's chicken coop. No! You went by yourself. Please, please, chicken coop. Chicken coop! Chicken f***ing coop! Toots, where do you play? Have you ever played this map before?
But most of the time, all you need is a little bit of patience for your fellow flawed humans. And if you're having trouble with that, just remember that someday, some game, it'll be you who's the teammate that sucks. And it won't actually be your fault either.
Oh, dude, bronze, copper, lol, dude, you're so bad, lol. Dude, I'm an actual master player, dude. It's so sad to see that in chat, dude.
I've been playing Call of Duty for 14 years, and now I have to play against somebody who's also been playing for 14 years. It's funny, man. It's so great. I don't know. Watch, that's gonna be the end more, and I'm gonna get shit on by a bunch of console shitters out there.